Hey guys, so welcome to this. This is a great little thing on how to counter the cut kick for Muay Thai and MMA. And there's going to be a ton of great little tips in here. I really broke it down to make it easier for you guys. Make sure this is your first time watching it. You might want to just glance through and see which ones you like best and then come back for the details later. But there's some great details in this, and especially at the end, I'm going to show you a nice little training tip on how to make all of these work, regardless of what kick or punch or any kind of exercise it is, how to make it a lot easier so you can rep it out and make it a little bit more fun, not so dry and static, make it a little bit more alive, and really get a good retention out of putting those techniques in. Okay, so make sure you watch the videos, go through all of them, find the ones that you like best, and really hammer those ones out. Have fun, guys. Hi guys, so we're going to work on the most important way to block a low leg cut kick, and that is the leg check. It's a really most common move that you'll see in Muay Thai. It's one of those things that really separates Muay Thai from other kickboxing or other martial arts, is that leg kicking, and checking is a really big part of that. So when we're doing that check, we want to have our stance. I want my knee to come up and out at about 45 degrees. We want to meet that kick at 9 degrees. If my knee is coming forwards, I'm going to get spun a bit. So we want the knee to come out, my elbow comes down to the outside of my knee, and I'm not pulling my hand down. I'm not going to do this. Okay, so I want my knee to come up, and one thing to help out is I'm going to squat a little bit. So a little duck. Now, this hand comes in front, and there's your leg check. You can see my toes are here, they're pulled up a little bit, not pointed, and I don't want to do this when someone kicks me. I want to make a nice strong check, and the kick should be going right there, although some people can be a little bit off on their accuracy. They want it to be right in that sweet spot. So when we check, we want to make sure that we're putting our shin, the bottom of our shin, that's the strongest part, blocking that kick. So now I have my partner Chad here. Chad goes to do a cut kick. Check. And I'm going to answer back. Again. Check. And answer back. And answer back. And it's a little bit different angle here. So super important, that kick is coming out at an angle, or sorry, the check is coming out at an angle. If Chad does his kick, and I check forward, it's going to turn me around a little bit. And if I go too open, he does his kick, he might hit me in the groin. My check comes out too wide. And either hit me in the groin or support the leg. So super important, you want to make sure that the check is coming right where that target is. So again, nice. Now, the reason this is important is if Chad fakes his kick and punches, my hand is going to go right in the middle from my elbow to deflect that kick. And it's very common mistakes where people will do this. They'll go flat-footed, they'll lift their leg too high and bring their elbow too low. They'll have a gap in the middle, and this hand will come out. Okay, so we don't want the arm to come out. We're not trying to balance here. I'm going to go right down the middle, so you should be able to see my face. You get a nice little crunch into that check, and don't look where you're checking. Really common. People will look where their hand is and drop this other hand. Right there. Okay? Go check, guys. Okay guys, so we did the checking with the lead leg. Now we've got to make sure, what if the check's coming to the kick's coming to the inside or even to my rear leg. Obviously checking to the outside is not going to work very well. And this really is going to come down to a couple of simple factors. There really is only one right way, and the right way is the one that works for you. Okay? So when I'm with Chad here, if he goes to kick the inside of my leg, I want to bring my leg across. So again, I want to bring it inside. Now, same thing, if I point my knee at Chad and he goes to kick the inside of my leg here, he's going to spin me out a little bit. Okay, so I have to watch out for that. So I need to turn my leg across. Again, good. Now, if he's trying to go for this lead leg, I might have a little bit more weight on this front foot, whereas last time My weight's here. You can see my stance, very easy to bring this leg across. If my weight's in my front foot, this isn't going to be an option because his leg is so close to my leg that for me to shift my weight back, he's going to hit me. So if my weight's forward and he goes to kick, I'm going to check inside. Good. If it's to the rear leg, he's going to do a shuffle step. He's going to shuffle step in and then kick that rear leg. Pretty much in that time, I have to shift my weight forward and then check my rear leg. But the nice thing is, you see, he has to do a footwork. He has to shuffle step in, and that's really important. So I'm going to be able to see it happen before he's able to hit me. So again. Now, this or this really comes down to your stance. How do you like your stance? If your weight is forward, you're likely going to check with your rear leg more. If your weight is back, you're going to check with your lead leg. Some Thai guys really like to have that right leg in the front so they can check to either side, right? Whereas some more European or heavier guys who like to punch, they'll keep more weight in the front foot, which means they're checking more with this rear leg. I prefer checking with the lead leg because, again, I can check to both sides with it. I don't have to switch stances. So, but the big one is whatever block works is the one that's working for you. So go ahead, guys. Okay guys, so now we're going to work on checking the kick, but taking advantage and catching the kick off the check. Now sometimes when you go to check, you might mistake what side the kick is coming on, or he might hit you as you're starting to check. So this is perfect. When Chad goes to kick my leg, I'm going to bump it up. Sort of knock it up and then catch it. Again, whoop, right here. And then I'm going to throw my punch. Now I always want to throw a counter right away. Just like before, when I leg check and kick back, I always want to throw that counter right away. So on this side, a little easier to see. He goes to kick my leg, and I bump my knee up to catch him. And then I throw my punch, throw my kick his leg, whatever I want to do after that, that's your choice. And I'll clear it, and then punch him or kick him. Okay? So whatever you want to do, that's your choice. It's just the idea of catching the kick off the check. So he goes to kick again, up, and then punch, clear the leg, and kick the guy. Again. Really, really important. You want that check to come on an angle, and it's a bit of a bump. So when his kick comes in, I'm not taking it on the leg like that. I'm going to, again, lift it up. So it redirects his kick into my hip. So I don't take the full force on that thigh spot. And then just catch his leg. Make sure you clear it well. And then throw your technique. Okay, so we're catching it off the check. Go ahead, guys. Okay, so we did the leg kick, you bump it up and catch it. We're going to do a very, very similar one. What if it's the inside leg kick? So when Chad goes to kick the inside of my leg, you see this sometimes. Guys will pick this leg up, and that's pretty natural. It's almost the same idea as this, running away. Now, we don't really want to do that, right? It's not a great idea, but on the outside, sometimes it's the only option you have. And we can honestly try to cross-check, but this, we can take advantage of. You see what I'm doing with this hand? I'm scooping it up. So when Chad goes to kick my leg, I can scoop it, bring my other hand underneath, and then I can punch, I can elbow, I can take him down by bringing his leg back. There's so many things you can do from this position. I love doing things where guys are standing on one leg because I'd much rather fight a kickboxer with one leg. So when Chad goes to kick again, scoop it up, step in, maybe hand goes in front, take out his leg, really, really common one. Kick the inside of the leg, here, spin, elbow, come back, and then kick. There's so many things you can do. So the best thing, honestly, guys, is just work on actual skill and then practice anything you think fits well for you. So a couple more times, scoop it up, and in. We'll get Chad on the other side now so you can see the other angle. Scoop it up, in. I really like this one. I like kicking people off their feet, and you can see I'm hooking Chad's head so he doesn't hit his head on the ground. Because it can be a little bit terrifying, especially if you don't know what's happening. Here, hook, grab, and kick. So you can really hold on to the person pretty well doing this one. And it's a fun one, totally legal for Muay Thai, which is really, really good. Okay, have fun, guys. Okay guys, so now this is a little bit one I prefer to do instead of checking. And the big reason I'm not a huge fan of checking is there's still that impact. There's still a little bit of damage. If I don't have my shin pads, it kind of hurts. If I miss time that last one and he catches my leg, it's going to get a little annoying after a while. So this is evasive. Don't let the guy touch you at all. Now this is nice for sport as well, because sometimes you check it and the judges just don't see it that way. They see that the other guy hit you. Even though you checked it, he's being more aggressive and they might score more points for him. So if I just go check and then nothing, well, the other guy's getting a point. If I go check and then answer back, okay, I might be able to get a couple points back. This one is a more evasive technique. So Chad goes to kick my leg, evasive, and then come back with my punches. Now watch my rear leg when I'm doing this. It doesn't move. This one just slides out of the way. So again, on this side. Try not to fall. We're going to get into that in a second. I have a bonus flip coming up right away here, but get the nice little slide away and then come in with a couple of shots. Okay? It's going to be a little challenging if he goes to kick my leg and I answer back with a kick, because I have to bring my leg back in. So likely you're going to answer back with some punches, because they're nice and fast and they're already going to be a little bit closer. Okay? Okay guys, so now a little bit extra bonus one to lead off the last one. When I evade, I want to take advantage of this footwork where I'm sliding back. And what can be tricky about evading is people tend to move away, right? We don't want to move that rear foot. We don't want to step back. I want to stay within that pocket. So I'm going to do what's called a following step. I'm going to bring my leg back and step and chase forward with it. Okay? So on the side, you can see I bring my leg back and it's almost like a switch step. I'm going to lean slightly forward and then go in with my punches. This is a really, really nice way of closing the gap, and it's very, very fast. It's misleading. So I pull that leg away and then jump in with my punches. So when Chad goes to kick my leg here, I can really get my leg out of the way and then fall in with my punches. And if you watch, I step back and switch. My jab comes out and then my cross. So that's the trickiest part, is we want to be able to go opposite foot to opposite hand. So left foot, right hand to punch, left hand, right foot to punch. So when we step, pop, pop. We don't want to go here, right? This is a little bit awkward to go one side punch, one side punch. So Chad comes again. Come in with my techniques. Now because he's closing the gap, we have to kind of modify the range a little bit. So when he goes to kick, it's likely I'm going to be running in with the knee. On the other side. If for MMA, same kind of idea, he kicks, punch, punch. It's just going to be a football tackle. I'm going to, if you go slow, jab. This right hand is going to go down and I shoot in. Now because he's sideways, I just grab his knees and hug them together. So I just want to pin his knees, and it's very, very likely on that kick, he's going to be sideways. Or if he spins, he'll be backwards to me. So again. This is a nice little set for a takedown, but we have to know that he's going to kick me in the leg, and I'll show you a trick later on how to find that out. Okay, go have fun. Okay guys, so now we're going to get into something a little bit more fun. It's a little bit more unconventional. I'll be honest, this is just a good thing to practice. I wouldn't necessarily compete with this thing, but it's a good thing to practice because it works on accuracy, it works a lot on timing, and it's pretty damn cool. So when Chad goes to kick me, I know he's kicking me on that one spot. And that's really, really important. If you're up against a more of a beginner, sometimes you know they hit you in the butt or the hip or the knee or below the leg, and they kind of can be all over the place. So this is really only going to work if you're up against somebody that's a little bit more experienced and you know that they're trying to hit that sweet spot. So when Chad goes to kick me, I back check. Again, I'm going to jump over on this side. Now, the trick to this one is that I don't just put my foot here. I turn a little bit and I kick. It's like a really wonky back kick. And then put your punches in. It's going to be a little unlikely, go ahead, to come back with a kick. But some of those that are a little bit more flexible, or maybe a little bit more fast, you might have good balance and come back with a kick right away. But it definitely is a lot of fun. People just don't see it coming, so you'll throw them off for a half second. Back check. Go ahead, guys. Okay guys, so now we're going to get into, this one's great for MMA. You see this a lot, and a lot of this has to do in MMA because of the stance. In MMA, we can't lean back in typical Thai style stance, so you can get taken down a little bit easier. Granted, that lead leg is a little bit of a weapon, but people don't want to check so much in MMA because it's easy to start taking advantage of that and take the guy down. So they'll put a little bit more weight on their lead leg, plus hands are way faster than kicks, so guys tend to punch a little bit more. So now if Chad's coming with that leg kick, I'm going to absorb it. I want to put some weight into it and flex the muscle. Last thing I want to do is if he goes to kick is this and kind of turn and run. And obviously you've seen that in MMA in some of the fights. Guys get that leg hammered a little bit and then they start turning that leg away. Right? So we don't want that to happen. We want to lean into that kick. So Chad goes to kick and I'm going to throw my cross. Again, even if I'm off, it's not a huge deal because I'm keeping that leg tense. I don't want to relax my leg, and I definitely do not want my knee to trace inside. I don't want this to happen. That puts a lot of pressure on my knee. So again, there, I'm going to lean, that slight lean. Then I throw my cross over on this side. Now, for demo purposes, I'm putting this on his chest so I can make a little bit of contact. Right? If Chad's throwing his kick, I don't want to do this. As you can see on that punch, I didn't really get a lot of rotation, but I was aiming at his head, so I'll stop it short. Whereas if I go for his chest, I'll turn my hips. So now it gets me used to how long my range is for something fairly solid. And for as long as I'm hitting his chest, it's not going to hurt him too bad as long as I don't go up to his throat or his chin. Okay, so one more time. All right, you really get that rotation, and that's going to help with that leg. Okay, have fun with that one, guys. Okay guys, so now this is the last one I like to show guys because this one really sucks. It's nasty. You do see it happen accidentally in the club, and I'm sure it's happened to you. If you've been doing a little bit of sparring for more than probably a month, it's probably happened to you at some point, where the guy goes to check and he brings his foot in and you hit his knee. That one really, really hurts. And typically it might come from Chad's going to kick with his rear leg, but I might think it's his left leg. Go ahead, and I do the little panic check. Right? And then I didn't get it up quite enough, and this tends to happen. That's called a knee spike. It's actually a really, really good technique. So again, I know that Chad is kicking here. If he's kicking my knee or my hip, I'm going to have to adjust the height a little bit. So this works really good on more experienced people because I know his kick's coming there, and when it does, I just point my knee at it. This one's pretty rough. The harder he kicks, the harder it hurts. When my knee is bent, it's a rock. When it's straight, it's not very stable. So again, that kick comes. Right, a little bit of a knee spike. You're going to lean in a little bit. Just like you would knee to the body, that little hip thrust, same thing here. You want to spike that shin of his. Ready, one more time. Boom. And then honestly come back to your punches. They're not going to want to do it too much. Even with the shin pads, this one's unpleasant. You even go at like 50%, you start to feel it through the shin pads. So be gentle with your partner. The key to this, guys, is accuracy, right? So this is from experience. You don't want to go ahead. Oh, well, that's not going to work, right? Maybe I blocked the kick a little bit, but I didn't get the shin. So I want to be able to find out exactly where to put this knee. So when we're doing it, you don't have to go hard. This is an accuracy thing. But you need your partner to hit the proper spot. So if Chad goes to hit my hip now, obviously my knee is going to be underneath his leg, and that's not what we're looking for. We want to get it right on his shin. So one more time, boom, and then answer back. Okay, that's fun. Okay, guys. So just to recap, all those kicks were to the blade, right? Nice and low below my hip. We're looking for that sweet spot. Now, there's going to be all these there's going to be subtle mistakes. Now, the big ones that you'll see is when you check your knee is forward, right? We want that knee out at 45 degrees. We want your elbow on the outside of your leg. We want your toe extended. We want you squatting on the ball of your foot, and this arm is in. Right? I want to stare at the inside of my forearm. Okay, so on that leg check, if your structure is good on a leg check, that's going to solve 90% of the problems that arise from guys kicking out your other leg, guys punching in the face, guys catching a kick through the middle. Right? If your stance is proper, you're not going to have to worry about anything. When you start getting into the evasive stuff, well, again, we want to make sure we're not using that back foot and hopping away. It's not going to be too far away to answer back. So it's just a quick step. The best one, the best evasion technique is one where the guy's toes just kind of brush by your shorts or your leg. It really, really hurts. If you haven't done it yet, you probably will, and it's not going to be very much fun. When you kick somebody with your toes, it's going to be way more painful for them than it is for you. It might be a little slap to your leg, but to them, it's going to buckle those toes back. So that's perfect, because you move just enough out of the range, and then you're still in range to answer with your punch and kick back. So really, really important that you have your structure right. You have when you evade, you're staying within range. And when you start getting into some of the fun stuff, you have to make sure that you know the kick is coming to where you want to go. And that's one of those big things why we teach check first like this is, for a beginner, this is perfect. But you are going to see the more advanced guys do stuff like this. And then just bring their leg up, because they know right away, because they've been seeing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, well, thousands of kicks coming at them. They know if that kick's going to go to the leg or to the body or to the head. Right? So they have that experience. So sometimes we might see some more experienced guys or fighters, and they just go knee spike, or they just pick the leg up because they know where it's going to go. For you as a beginner, you want to make sure it's here, and if you have that experience, then you can start playing into some of the funkier ones. Knee spike I would do before your back check, but they're both good moves. Now coming up, we have what to do if the kick comes to the body. So get ready, we're going to cover that right away. Okay guys, so now I got Curtis with me here. We're going to cover midsection attacks with the cut kick. So we know the kick is coming to our midsection, and when Curtis brings that kick up, check. Always, always, always the first answer. You want to hammer that one in, because when you get overwhelmed, this is pretty easy to do, is get that check. And at least that's going to cover a big portion of your body. So when Curtis comes in, check, and I'm going to answer back my kick, of course. Then check. Answer back, and one more, check, and maybe on the other side. So we'll switch sides here. Check, check, and check. Now for the sake of fun and practice, always, always, always put a technique after your block. Don't just accept the technique and then do nothing afterwards. Don't, if you have a great block, great, but answer back with something. Maybe it's a kick, maybe it's a punch. Pretty Thai common thing to do is you check a kick, you answer back with a kick. And it might be off the same side or opposite side. So we've already done this one before, but now it's coming at the body, so we still want you to practice it again so that you get to recognize, oh, there is a difference between hitting here and hitting here. You'll see the angle of the knee changes a little bit as it comes up. Okay, have fun guys. Okay, so now that you're having a good check, now we can build off of it. And this is actually a pretty fun one. If you'd like to be a little bit more defensive and you'd like to have that good check, this one works great. First goes to kick, and I catch off the kick. From here, I'm going to punch right away. Maybe it's a knee, maybe it's a knee, maybe it's a kick, maybe I throw the leg and kick him. But I have to do something. I don't just hold on to his leg, because either he's going to go into defensive mode and try to hang on, or he's going to start punching me once he feels he's got his balance. So again, catch, punch, knee, Muay. Maybe it's a throw off of it. Over on this side, you get to see a little bit more of it. So when that kick comes, I'm trapping it. I'm going to go leg check, like a little mouse trap. It closes on his leg. I want to get by his heel. I lift that leg up, punch. Maybe it's an elbow, knee, kick, kick. This is one of my favorite ones. Grab the head, step in, and lift the leg up and pull his head to throw him. I love the throws. It's a lot of fun. It's not too scary. So again, over on this side. And one more time. Okay, try not to land on your partner. Obviously, anything you want to do after that is really, really good. But we want to get that check and close it off. Check, clamp, and then punch, kick, knee, elbow, anything you want. We got some extra ones coming up in the next one. They'll show you some other ideas you can do when you have the foot. Okay? Have fun, guys. Okay guys, so now we're going to go on to catching the kick. Now, checking, again, is the best thing to do for the beginners. Once you start to recognize those kicks coming, you're going to kind of stop doing the check, because there is that impact, but also there's better ways to take advantage of your partner. And one of them is catching the kick. And we kind of did a little bit of it on that last one. Check it and then caught it. This one's really nice. When Curtis goes to kick me, I step, punch, elbow, kick, spin elbow. There's a lot of really fun things you can do off of this one. So, but there's a really couple important details. When Curtis goes to kick me, it's going to hit me. So I can't stay where I am. I want to move. I want to move off to the side. So right now, if I'm not really in Curtis's power zone, right now I am. Okay, so right now my feet are lined up with his feet. It's like we're on train tracks. If I move one step over, so my right foot is lined up with his right foot, this is going to be a crazy hard kick. Now, I shouldn't be standing here, because I'm standing right in front of his hardest weapon for his punch and his hardest kick. But Curtis might step there, and if he steps to the side and throws a kick, this one's going to really hurt. Okay? If he throws his kick from here, it's not too bad. Right? You're probably going to get that, and then you'll grab the leg if he doesn't retract it. But if he steps to the side, it's going to be a really hard kick. So if he steps to the side and kicks hard, I have to step. And that will take me out of his power. He's trying to put himself in a spot where he can hit me really hard. I want to take myself out of that spot. So super important that we step in a bit of a circle, in a bit of an arc. If I step sideways, I'm going to miss that leg. The toes will fly by me. Now, that's okay. I didn't get hit, but I don't get to take advantage of it. So we really want to go in that arc. So again, here, and punch, elbow, knee to the hamstring, really hurts. Spin elbows, throw the leg, get your hips back, throw it, kick out his leg, punch him. Again, there's so many things you can do. It's just finding something that you really like, that feels comfortable for you. So we have Curtis on this side, so you can see he throws that kick. I step to the side, punch, throw, and then kick him back. Okay, so it's really important. Can't say enough. Step to the side. Last thing you want to do is, get a kick. And you kind of have it, but then you're not able to take advantage of it. One other little tip that's going to help you out a lot. When Curtis does go to kick me, step to the side, hook this leg, grab it, and lift it up. Some guys are really flexible, right? So if you get somebody like a crew Chris who can put his foot up here man, that's going to be nasty. You don't want to be here very long. I would recommend on a flexible guy, hitch the leg and start kicking him right away. If it's someone who's not as flexible, lifting that leg up, you kind of knock him around a little bit. And if it's a little bit more MMA, this is nastier, so watch out for it. Curtis goes to kick. I can turn my leg, turn my body, and that's going to roll his hip and his knee over, so that'll kind of put a little bit of extra force on it. So you have to make sure your partner knows what's going on, not like Curtis right here, who had no clue that I was going to do that. Okay, so watch out for that. And that can be a little bit nasty. Just be careful with your partners. One other detail, when Curtis goes to kick me, don't turn your back. You have your kidneys here. You don't want to expose our kidneys. So this idea of turning and trying to take it off your lat muscle, no, if he gets it right on your kidneys, you're really not going to be enjoying that much. So make sure when you step, you're catching on the side and you're out of their range or out of that power zone. Okay, really important one, guys, but so much fun. Have fun. Okay guys, so catch and the kick, again, very, very fun one, but now we're going to move into something that requires a little bit more timing, but it's great. I love this one. It's a great Thai one. You cannot do this laying off because it's really, really, really working on range and accuracy as well as timing. So when Curtis is throwing that kick to my body, he's exposing his leg a little bit. So what I want to try and do is kick his leg, okay, underneath. So this one can be a little confusing. Whatever leg is coming up, my leg goes underneath on that same side. And I'm going to lean back. Now ideally, my foot hits his foot before his foot hits my body. Okay, so I don't want to do this where he goes, go ahead, kick. That's not going to work very well. The idea of me counter kicking isn't so much to injure him. It's more just to steal the power from his own kick. When he goes to do his kick, I kick underneath, right? So I want to just get a nice kick on the back of the leg. Now, a couple important things. I want to lean back a little bit, and I don't want to poke this elbow up. I want to keep my arm inside. So watch when Curtis kicks again. My hand is up, off on the other side. And again. If Curtis kicks with this leg, his lead leg, well obviously I'm not going to kick with this one now. I'm going to kick underneath. So he kicks with his lead leg. I kick with my rear leg. I'm going underneath his kick again. And this is a nice little smacky kick. I am going to show you a trick at the end of the midsection, the area that we're doing. All the techniques are covered. I'm going to show you a trick to make all this easier. Okay, so practice the movement nice and lightly with your partner, and I'll show you how you can apply it later. Go. Okay guys, so now we're going to get into a little bit of evasion. Now we did an evasion before with our leg, we moved it back. Remember I was saying you don't want to move that rear leg. Same thing goes here, only the difference is I know for a fact that he's not going to hit the body, or sorry, the leg, he's going for my body, right? So either that's from experience or it's just we drill and we drill and we drill and we drill and we drill until I can recognize, oh, leg, body, or head. So when Curtis again brings that kick to my body, I just want to move my hips back, okay? So this is going to be a lot of practice with a variety of training partners. If I'm always working with Curtis, I'm going to get used to Curtis's range. But then if I switch to Chad, who I had out here earlier, my range is going to be different. And if I have a tall guy, I'm going to have to change it again. So we want to mix up our training partners. So when I'm standing in front of Curtis, when he goes to do his kick, there, that one's going to hit me. So now I know, yes, that's a good spot to do that hip dodge. So when he comes in, hip dodge to get out of it. I want his kick to come through. Now for you can do this if you want. You can sweep with this hand. Just like you would sweep a teep. You bring this hand down and sweep in that front kick. You can do the same thing. Sometimes you'll make a mistake. You'll think it's a teep or a front kick, and it's actually a cut kick. So if this hand comes in, it's no worry. Don't worry about it. It's still a good thing. So Curtis goes, sweep, and then I'm going to throw my punch. So whether I catch it or not doesn't matter. If it comes out, then I can punch. If I know it's a cut kick, wood, then I can punch. Or I can do my following stuff. Okay? But the idea is just get the hips back. So a hip dodge, just like you would for a teep. Get the hips away from your target. Over on this side, so you can see another angle. Breathe in. One more. Now, if you have a partner that you know likes to spin, you might want to answer a little bit differently. Maybe it's kick to the head, maybe it's punch to the head, maybe it's kick to the legs. It's your choice. But this is a basic one, really nice one to kind of get your partner missing. Okay? Go ahead, guys. Okay guys, so a little bit of review here of what we're working on. We want to make sure when those body kicks are coming, when we're doing our check, again, our structure is right. We want to make sure it's nice and strong. When we're catching the kick, we don't want to be too loose, right? So try to hang on to that foot a little bit more. If you step in a circle, you catch it, lift it up a little bit. Make sure that foot's nice and snug so he's not trying to spin away or kick his leg through. Then you'll see different guys will do it a little bit differently in how they defend. I'm not worried about how they defend just yet. We're worried about countering them, not how are they going to counter our counter. Okay, so we'll keep it simple. Just step in that arc. Don't step to the side. Don't step back so that you miss the foot. And when it comes to counter kicks, again, can be really, really tricky because when Curtis is coming up or nice and close, if he comes up to my body, I might mistime it. And there's a lot of time involved. So here's your tip to make things a little bit easier. I don't want to stand here because Curtis can hit me from here. Right? That's a good range for him. So if I take about a foot of a step back, maybe a little bit more depending on how much time you need, Curtis is going to have to close that gap. So when Curtis goes to take that step, I'm going to kick his leg. If it's a lead leg and he does a switch, I'm going to kick the supporting leg. So what happens is Curtis has to do some footwork to hit me. So the key thing here is 3 words. Attack the footwork. So if you really want to help your partner out, step and do the kick or switch step to do the kick. Okay? So to make it a little bit easier, just watch out. A really, really common thing is people will go step. Okay? They'll go step. Maybe instead of stepping the kick, they'll go step and shuffle step the kick. So obviously the footwork will change a little bit, but we want to attack that footwork, so we want to recognize it. So again, Curtis is going to go kick with his rear leg, he steps, I kick underneath. If it's a switch step, kick underneath. So we want to also make sure, watch Curtis is going to kick my leg on this one, off his rear leg, that we don't bang shins together. Right? So this has to be done to a mid-body kick. It can be done to a lower leg one, but it's a little bit trickier. If Curtis goes to my leg, my kick has to come up, and that's likely going to hit him in the groin. It's not very fun. Usually, typically, you bang knees. So this is for that leg, or sorry, body kick that you know is coming. Okay? Have fun, guys. Okay guys, so now that we're dealing with the high cut kick, we want to make sure that we're hammering in those defenses that we worked on earlier. The standards are always there, just in case you kind of panic or freak out a little bit. So we always want to make sure that that leg check is always the first thing that we're going to do if we ever panic. So I got with me Coach Steve, so a little bit taller, a little bit more flexible. You can get that leg up. If he kicks to the head, leg check, and answer back. Now, even though it's going to my head, I'm doing this because maybe I got caught off guard. If I know for sure, I'm going to answer with something else, which you'll see soon, but the leg check is the standard. So again, boom, and answer back right away. These punches, it doesn't matter if they're actually making any contact. You see they're just hitting his arms, but it sets up a nice leg kick. So we need to make sure that whatever we answer with, we're coming back with something right away, nice and hard. Again, and let's get a view onto this side, same thing. And once more. Okay, leg check, guys, super important. You practice this one lots. Okay, have fun. Okay, guys, so now that we've already got that base in, if we ever panic, we can always drop back to that check. But instead, if we know that kick is coming to the head, we want to do something called a twin. So we want those arms up. I want to make sure, really important, my arm is slightly more than 90 degrees. I don't want to go at 90 degrees. This is too weak. My arms will get pressed in if I get a good hard kick. If I keep my arms at slightly more than 90 degrees, I'm much, much stronger. And obviously, if they're out here, they're super strong, but there's no block. So So make sure it's nice and strong off to the side. So when Steve comes in with this kick, twin, and answer back immediately. Should have that answer. Yaw is a great answer because off of the twin, this hand, that lead hand, is loaded up for my hook. So again, and kick. If it's off the lead leg, twin. Dutch works great. So blocking and then answering right away back with my Dutch. Over off the other side, same deal. Rear leg kick. Boom. Mix it up a little bit, other side. So with your partner, make sure when you're doing this one, it's okay if your partner can't kick your head. It's nice, I got a great partner who can kick to the head, but if you can't, you can just swing your leg up to kind of mimic that head contact. But I got a great partner for this. So you can see, maybe Steve this time will swing his leg up. And go ahead. And I can still practice hand a little impact, but obviously if you watch his real kick, yeah, this makes for a nice strong block. Okay, so he's really going to check my block. Make sure your hands are more than 90 degrees and try not to look where you're kicking or where the kick's coming from. Look where you're going so you can answer back right away. Okay, twin guys, have fun. Okay guys, so another little option here, just like we were doing before to that mid kick, we can counter the kick. Now this one's even easier because that kick's coming up nice and high, so I have lots of room. Remember, if it's coming to the body, I still have to get underneath this kick. If the kick comes to my leg, it's going to be hard to get underneath. So it's nice now that it's up nice and high. The difference is I don't want to stand upright and get kicked in the head. So I need to lean back and put my shoulder up. So when Coach Steve does his kick, counter kick, right underneath. Again, underneath. Now, if I don't lean back, I might get clipped, so I have to be careful about that. The other thing is you watch this hand. Watch what my left hand is doing. My hand comes down. I don't want to leave my hand up, and this is why. You go for the kick. Oh, he hit my arm. Maybe that hurts me a little bit. I hit him. As a judge's perspective, they're going to hear that smack when they hit the glove, and they might not know, like, oh, did he land his kick or not? Well, let's give him a point for it because he's actually being more aggressive. So you have to be careful. Don't leave that hand up, and don't poke your elbow out so you get kicked in the elbow. That actually hurts quite a bit for me when my arm is here and I get kicked. So I want to keep that elbow in. So again, head kick, lean back and kick his leg. If it's off the other side, and one more time. Good. Obviously, it's the same thing off the opposite side. If Coach Steve goes switch step, round cut kick to the head though. And remember, our key here is you want to attack the footwork. So when I see that switch, I'm already doing my kick right away. So I'm going to counter kick underneath. So counter kick, really, really good one. There is a special note here. Remember I was saying that sometimes you get those guys that aren't very flexible and it's okay to swing that leg up. In that case, we don't want to kick that supporting leg too hard. If Coach Steve does swing his leg up, and I kick, I might send his leg sideways, laterally. So if you have one of those partners and you know that they're stiff in the hip because it's hard for them to bring those kicks up. If he does, I'm just going to go lightly with my kick. I don't want to pop his knee sideways. Whereas when he does a harder kick, his knee will bend, so when I kick it will buckle his knee a little bit, but won't hurt him. So be very mindful with your partner, guys. Okay? Counter the cut kick. Okay, guys, so now we know that we can counter kick underneath, but sometimes you're just not ready to pull the trigger on that kick. So the big one here is, if my hands are up and that kick comes to my head, is I lean back. I have to bring my head out of the way, right? Obviously don't leave that hand up. So a kick comes, lean back, and then come in with your shots, okay? Again, lean back. So take that head out of the picture is the most important thing. So even if it's just head back and you sit there, that's better than obviously getting hit. But we want to make sure that every time he throws a kick, I'm evading it or I'm blocking it and immediately answer back. And that's just whatever comes comfortable with. So watch this back foot here when Steve throws his kick. It might have a very subtle little step, just so I can lean back. I don't want to step too far away and then be too far to advance in on my own technique. Okay, so lean back, just like you're doing before, just back. Okay? Okay guys, so this is the last one for the head kicks. It's a really, really fun one. It can be a little bit challenging to pull off, but once you get the idea, you recognize when the head kick is coming, it's actually not that hard. So what I want to do is I want to catch it, just like we did before with the leg check, and catch and I trap down, or it comes to the body and I catch it. I want to do the same thing to my head. Okay? So when the kick comes, boom, up. I'm bringing my arm up like I would for a cover, but not bringing my elbow in so much. I'm going to slide it out just a little bit. Hand comes up, and then I trap and scoop his leg up to catch it, and then just run him back. Now, hopefully they're not super, super flexible, because if they are, well, you're going to have to really kick out that other leg, or just push them away. But most people can't do the splits straight up and down, so I'll help you out. You just want to catch. So try to go slow motion for this one. Catch, and then up. So again, normal speed now. And off the other side, of course. Slow motion. And normal speed. That kick was to the shoulder, ref, not the head. Okay, so catch that kick and lift up. To help your partner out, you can adjust your height, because not everybody likes to fall. So catching up here can be a little intimidating. Start low and then just stand up. You know, watch Coach Steve's legs. When I lift, yeah, he just falls back. So it's not as crazy as a fall you might think. Of course, again, kicking out the leg makes it look a little bit more impressive. So we'll do one normal speed for that. Because it's just fun. So there you go, guys. Got lots of answers to the kicks, whether it's to the leg, body, or head. Make sure you just get that recognition of where it's going. Okay? Have lots of fun. Okay guys, so to recap some of the things to look out for on the high kicks is make sure you don't leave that glove up for them to hit. Make sure when you're leaning back, you lean back, right? Don't just leave your head up there. You can turn your shoulder if you'd like. Turn your shoulder around, but really you should be moving your head away from that target. Don't leave that hand up. And when we're doing the twin, really, really important, we don't want to go less than 90 degrees or 90 degrees. We want to go more than 90 degrees. And don't turn your palms out. Sometimes you'll see some of the trainers, they might not have pads in their hands. They'll just turn it. Well, they're turning their hands like they would to catch a cut kick on the pads, right? And obviously you're going to go palms out. So you should go this way and hit with your forearms. Again, it's not a very pleasant one on your forearms on a bare shin, but definitely way better to get your forearms than your head. Okay, so watch out for those simple little mistakes and have fun with those ones, guys. Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. You know what, they're really easy techniques, but they are a lot of fun. Make sure you go and practice them, get a good partner, and you know what, if you don't have a good partner, teach them how to be a good partner. And if you don't know how to be a good partner, hopefully you found a couple little tips in here to make you a better partner. Because you know what, I get better when my partner gets better. So my job is to make him as good as I can, as fast as I can. Right? So help each other out, work together, and have fun. There's a lot of great things there. Try not to worry about covering like, oh, I have to do every single one of those techniques. There's a lot, there's like 20 things in there. No, just pick maybe one or two to the leg, one or two to the midsection, maybe one to the head, and that's it. Make sure you have a good check no matter what technique is coming, and then have another one for fun, right? And once you're able to incorporate that, you're doing great, guys. Okay, see you soon.